Good morning, everyone. My name is Teacher Jarrett, and today we are going to keep talking about how you and I can help in our community, okay? So today we are going to read a story, and can anyone tell me what the title of the story is? It's right here. If you know, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me what's the title of the story. I'm listening. Yes, the title of the story is Squirrels Help, right? So last time we talked about, do you remember? Last time we were talking about Thump Thump helping, and before that we talked about the pig and dog and cat helping Nell, the elephant, right? So now we're going to read about squirrels helping each other, okay? Can anyone tell me who the author of this story is? If you know, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. It's right here. I'm listening. Sarah Hughes. Yeah, that's right. The author's name is Sarah Hughes. And it's illustrated by Ashley Mims. That means Ashley is the person who drew all of the pictures for this story, okay? So here it shows that the story is a fantasy, okay? So let's think about that as we read the story, to think about why this story is a fantasy, okay? All right. So let's read all of this together, and then we'll go on to the next page, okay? Fantasy. Squirrels Help by Sarah Hughes. Illustrated by Ashley Mims. Okay, very good. So now we'll keep reading, okay? Genre fantasy. Essential question. How do people help out in the community? Squirrels Help by Sarah Hughes, illustrated by Ashley Mims. And then we have a paired read with the title Food Drive, okay? So let's read all of this together. Genre fantasy. Essential question. How do people help out in the community? Squirrels Help by Sarah Hughes, illustrated by Ashley Mims. Paired read. Food Drive. Okay, so we have learned about different ways that you and I can help out in the community, right? We can help make books. We can help make carts for books, or we can give out books to other people, or we can help call for help, right? Or we can make a garden, or we can pick up garbage and clean up a park, right? So those are all ways we can help. So now let's see how the squirrels will help each other in this story. The squirrels look for nuts to eat. They look all day long. All right, so here's one squirrel, and here's another squirrel, and they're finding nuts. You see that? Let's read this one at a time. Okay, now it's your turn to read. The squirrels look for nuts to eat. They look all day long. Okay, very good. We want a lot of nuts, Mama Squirrel says. But there are no nuts in this tree. Sue looks in her bag. I have just 3 nuts, she says. Oh no. Mama Squirrel is here looking in the tree, trying to find nuts. Maybe that's their house. And then Sue is looking for nuts, but she only has 3 nuts in her bag. That's not a lot of food. Maybe the squirrels will go hungry if no one helps them, right? All right, let's read this together. We want a lot of nuts, Mama Squirrel says, but there are no nuts in this tree. Sue looks in her bag. I have just 3 nuts, she says. Okay, so let's practice reading this word 3, okay? When we say 3, we see there's a TH, right? TH. And so you all remember what we do with the TH sound, right? Our tongue comes out. Let's stick our tongues out right now, okay? Ready? On 3, we're going to go, what? Okay? 1, 2, 3. What? Right? So our tongue came out of our mouth. And so when we say the TH sound, our tongue has to come out of our mouth, all right? So let's say the word together. 3. 3. Okay? Now, if you're with your mother or your father, let's do this practice, okay? Just say So look at your mother and your father, ready? And do okay? So we did that 3 times, right? So now let's say the word one more time, and then we'll keep practicing the story. We'll keep reading the story, all right? 1, 2, 3. Okay? Good. You're learning to say the words the right way. Very good. Yay! So let's go to the next page now. Look at my bag, says Tom. It will not shut. Sue looks sad. She wants a lot of nuts too. So you can see, here's Tom. He has so many nuts, but Sue only has 3. Sue wants more nuts though, right? So let's see if Tom helps her. But before we do that, let's read this together. Look at my bag, says Tom. It will not shut. Sue looks sad. She wants a lot of nuts too. Okay. Can we help Sue? Tom asks Dad. I think we can help, says Dad. So there's Tom with all of his nuts, and there's Dad. And look inside the tree, there are so many nuts in the tree, right? Okay, let's read this together. Can we help Sue? Tom asks Dad. I think we can help, says Dad. All right. Come with me, Sue, says Tom. This is a good spot to get nuts. Okay, so Tom helped Sue go to a place where she can find a lot of nuts. Yay! Let's all clap together. Ready? Yay! Okay, now let's read together. Come with me, Sue, says Tom. This is a good spot to get nuts. All right, let's keep reading. Thank you, says Sue. Now my bag is full. So Sue is so happy. Her bag is all full. Okay. Let's read this together now. Thank you, says Sue. Now my bag is full. Okay, let's go to the next page. Oh, look, there's snow on the ground. It must be cold. Can everyone do cold with me? so cold. Can you do that? Let's do that together. Brr, it's so cold. All right. The cold has come. Sue is at Tom's home. I am glad Tom could help me, says Sue. Okay. She hangs a note that says, thanks, right? So let's read this together now. The cold has come. Sue is at Tom's home. I'm glad Tom could help me, says Sue. She hangs a note that says, thanks. All right, so we can see here's Tom's hole, and she's hanging a note that says, thanks, onto Tom's tree, right? So because Tom helped her, she was able to be full. She was not hungry for the whole winter. Look, now the snow is gone and it is spring. Yay! Let's read this. I'll read this first. Spring is here. The squirrels come out to play. They look for nuts again. This time, Sue can help. See, there's Sue, and she has bags full of nuts, right? Yeah, let's read this together. Spring is here. The squirrels come out to play. They look for nuts again. This time Sue can help. Very good. Now let's see what the next part is. This is the last page. I can help you, calls Sue. Come with me. You will have a lot of nuts. So after Tom showed Sue where all the nuts were, she could help other squirrels find those nuts, right? Yeah, so now she was helping other squirrels. So let's read this together. I can help you, calls Sue. Come with me. You will have a lot of nuts. Okay, that is great. Look, and now there are so many nuts. Okay, so now we get to respond to reading. Yay! Right? We are going to respond to reading. So let's make our character setting events chart, okay? Okay? Yeah, good. I will make the chart and you can start looking at these questions, okay? All right, keep reading these questions because we're going to talk about them in a little bit. Okay, great. So now let's make the other boxes. Okay, let's start with these two boxes first. Okay, so we'll go up to the first page. So we can see the squirrels are looking for nuts. And then we see Mama Squirrel says there are no nuts and Sue only has a few nuts in her bag, right? Okay, so let's put that as our first character setting event. So first there's, oh, silly me, Mama and Sue, right? Those are the first two characters. And where is the location? Where is the setting? We see a lot of trees, and we know that squirrels live in the trees. Does anyone know what the name of a place with many trees is called? If you know, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. Yes, the name of the place is called a forest, right? A forest. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, so the event that happened was Mama said the tree had no nuts and Sue's bag only 3 nuts, right? So Mama Squirrel called Sue and told Sue that their tree had no nuts, right? And then Sue looked in her bag, and her bag only had 3 nuts in it, right? Yeah. So that was our first character setting and event, right? All right. So now let's see what the next character setting and event is, okay? So now we see Tom and Sue are together, and Tom's bag is full. Sue's bag does not have a lot of nuts, right? And so then Tom asks his dad if they can help Sue, and then he takes Sue to a place with lots of nuts, right? So let's go to the next character setting event. Tom and Sue are the next characters, right? And where are they at? We see lots of trees still. We will yell it together, okay? On 3. We'll yell the setting together. 1, 2, 3. Forest! Did you get it? I think you got it. I heard you. You yelled so loud. Very good. Forest. And the event was that Tom had a lot of nuts. Sue, he asked his dad could help Sue. Tom showed Sue a place with many nuts, right? Okay. So we saw that Tom had many nuts. He asked his dad if they could help Sue, and then he took Sue to a place with many nuts, right? So then Sue had a full bag. Oh, let's make another chart. Okay, so then what happened next? So Tom and Sue both had lots of nuts, and then it was winter, and Sue left a thank you note at Tom's tree, right? So it was Tom, oops. So the characters were Tom and Sue, right? The setting was still in the forest, and the event was Sue found many nuts. Then when winter came, she put a thank you note on Tom's tree, right? Okay. So Sue found many nuts, and then when winter came, she put a note on Tom's tree to say thank you for helping her, right? And then the last part, if we remember, spring came, and all the squirrels had to find nuts again. And then Sue told all the other squirrels where to find nuts, right? So Sue was helping the squirrels to find nuts this time, right? First, Tom helped Sue. Now Sue is helping other squirrels, right? Oh. We need to make our last character, setting, and event. So the characters were Sue and other squirrels, right? And they were still in the forest, right? And the event was that spring came and all of the squirrels were looking for nuts. Sue said she can nuts. Okay, so that is the end of our story, right? So spring came again, and Sue said she would help all the other squirrels, right? Okay, so now let's practice by reading all of this. I will read first, and then you can tell the story, okay? So Mama Squirrel and Sue were in the forest. Mama said the tree had no nuts, and Sue's bag only had 3 nuts. Then Tom and Sue were in the forest. Tom had a lot of nuts. He asked his dad if they could help Sue. Tom showed Sue a place with many nuts. Then Tom and Sue were in the forest. She found many nuts. Then, when winter came, she put a thank you note on Tom's tree. Finally, Sue and the other squirrels were in the forest. Spring came, and all of the squirrels were looking for nuts. Sue said she can help the squirrels to find nuts, right? Yeah, okay, so let's read all of this together now, okay? So we have character, setting, event. First, Mama Squirrel and Sue were in the forest. Mama said the tree had no nuts, and Sue's bag only had 3 nuts. Tom and Sue were then Tom and Sue were in the forest. Tom had a lot of nuts. He asked his dad if they could help Sue. Tom showed Sue a place with many nuts. Wow. Next, Tom and Sue were in the forest. Sue found many nuts. Then, when winter came, she put a thank you note on Tom's tree. Okay. Finally, Sue and other squirrels were in the forest. Spring came and all of the squirrels were looking for nuts. Sue said she can help the squirrels to find nuts. Okay, very good, everyone. Wow, so good. Now, if you want to practice again, you can pause and you can practice by yourself. If you don't want to practice, keep listening, and I will erase all of this and we can keep learning, okay? So if you want to practice again, hit pause. And now I am going to erase everything. Okay. So the next part of our lesson is the questions, right? Okay, so let's talk about our first question. Where does squirrels help take place? Okay, so we just talked about this, remember? So who remembers where the story takes place? If you remember, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me, where does the story take place? What is the setting? I'm listening. Yes, the setting is the forest. The setting of this story is in the forest, right? Okay. Now let's go to question 2. Look at page 9. Why does Sue hang a note? So let's go to page 9. And we can see Sue is hanging a note. And do we know why she said thanks? Do you know? If you know, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. Sue hangs a note to say thank you for Tom helping her. Very good. Okay. So Sue hangs a note to say thanks to Tom for helping her find so many nuts, right? And now let's go to our last question. Three. How can you tell squirrels help is a fantasy? So how can you tell that squirrels help is a fantasy? Yeah, that's a good idea. We know it is a fantasy because it is talking squirrels. Right, so we know that squirrels, can't speak English, right? So we know that squirrels can't speak English and they can't write in English either, right? So if they can't speak English in real life and they can't write thank you notes in real life, then it's probably fantasy, right? Especially since it's illustrated, so it was all pictures. There were no photographs taken, okay? So let's go through these 3 questions together. I'll let you read it this time. Where does squirrels' help take place? The setting of this story is in the forest. Very good. Look at page 9. Why does Sue hang a note? Sue hangs a note to say thanks to Tom for helping her find so many nuts, right? Good. 3. How can you tell squirrels' help is a fantasy? We know it is a fantasy because it has talking squirrels in it who can write. Okay, very good. Okay. So now let's erase this, okay? And we're going to go to the next page. So if you want to practice again, hit pause. Otherwise, I will erase it. Okay? Okay. So now we're on to our next story, okay? So, genre, nonfiction. Compare texts. Read about a food drive. So, food drive at Lincoln School, Friday, November 12th. Bring all food to room 4. And on the flyer, we can see tomato soup, chicken noodle soup, and cereal, right? Okay, let's read this together now. Genre, nonfiction. Compare texts. Read about a food drive. Food drive. Lincoln School. Friday, November 12th. Bring all food to room 4. And now let's read what's on the can. Ready? Tomato soup, chicken noodle soup, and cereal, right? Okay, very good. Now let's go to the next page. First of all, does anyone know what a food drive is? I don't know if I see any hands, so I'll explain. A food drive is something that a school or a company does to help gather food for people who are hungry or who cannot afford to buy food. That means they have no money, and so they're always hungry. But the school and the children or the company will collect food, like cans or boxes, and they will give it to people who need food, okay? So let's read this now. A food drive is a lot of work. The kids like to help. They put the food in boxes. Then the boxes are put in a car, okay? So let's read this together. A food drive is a lot of work. The kids like to help. They put the food in boxes. Then the boxes are put in a car, okay? So all of the people in the community give food to the school or give food to the children, and then the children take the food, put it into a box, and then take the box and put it in the car. And do you know where the car goes? Yes, the car goes to someone's house who needs food, right? So let's read what type of food can be given for a food drive, okay? Food for a food drive. 1, cereal. 2, beans. 3, soup. 4, pasta, okay? So, make connections. How are the events in Squirrels Help like a food drive? Okay, so let's read this together. Food for a food drive. 1. Cereal. 2. Beans. 3. Soup. 4. Pasta. Make connections. How are the events in Squirrels Help Like a Food Drive? Okay, so let's type this question so that you can practice. How are the in food drive? Okay, so the events in Squirrels Help are like a food drive. Tom helped Sue find food, right? So the events, so for a food drive, everyone collects food and then they can help give the food to other people, right? Or other people come to the place with lots of food and then they can take the food to their house, right? So it's very similar to Squirrels Help because Sue didn't know where the food was. She couldn't find any nuts, right? And so Tom took her, he said, go this way. And he took her to the place with lots of food, right? So a food drive and the story Squirrels Help are very similar because it is people helping other people, right? These kids or these children may be only 10 years old, but they are still helping the community by making sure people in their community are always full and not hungry, okay? So let's go to the next page. All right, so focus on genre. Fantasy. Fantasy is a made-up story that could not happen in real life. What to look for in Squirrels Help. The squirrels talk and carry bags. Real squirrels don't talk and carry bags, right? So we said the talking part before, but we said squirrels don't write notes, right? Here they're saying squirrels don't carry bags, which is also true, okay? So let's read this together. Focus on genre. Fantasy. Fantasy is a made-up story that could not happen in real life. Cannot happen. What to look for. In Squirrels Help, the squirrels talk and carry bags. Real squirrels don't talk and carry bags, right? Okay, so now we're going to do a your turn. So, your turn. Pretend you're a squirrel. Winter is coming. How will you get all the nuts you need? How will you help your squirrel pals? Draw a picture to show what you will do. Write a few words about it, okay? So now this is your turn to go and find a pen or a crayon and to draw a picture of squirrels, okay? Think, close your eyes and think, if you were a squirrel, what would you do to find all the nuts, right? So take some time. You can hit pause, and draw. And then when you're done, you can hold it up so I can see it, okay? So now you pause, go and draw some pictures. Okay, are you back? Did you draw a picture? If you drew a picture, hold it up so I can see it. Wow, that's a nice picture. Oh, that's so nice. The squirrel, and you have a picture of the squirrel walking around and finding nuts to put in the tree. Very good. Oh, you are so smart. Very good. Now you can take that picture and put it up on your wall. On your wall or on your refrigerator, okay? All right, let's go down to the last question page. Okay. So our last question is, who are the characters in Squirrel's Help? So who are the characters? You remember? If you know who the characters are, raise your hand. Okay, I want you to tell me. Tell me two names. Yeah, Sue and Tom. Sue and Tom. Okay. Sue and Tom were the main characters in the story, right? Mama and Sue's mama and Tom's dad were also characters in the story, right? So the characters were Sue and Tom. They were the main characters. And then Sue's mama and Tom's dad were also characters, right? But they were just small parts in the story. Okay, so how would you describe Tom? Okay, so how would you describe Tom? So Tom is friendly. Tom is nice. Tom is do you think he's a good friend or a bad friend? On 3, we're going to shout out what we think, good or bad, okay? 1, 2, 3. Good friend, right? Yeah, Tom is a good friend. Okay, so let's go to our next question. And what was Sue's problem in the story? How was it solved? Okay, so Sue's problem was that she, you know, if you know, raise your hand. Okay, I want you to tell me. I'm listening. Sue's problem was that she didn't have it. Very good. She didn't have any nuts, right? And how was it solved? Yes, it was solved when Tom showed Sue where to get a lot of nuts, right? Okay, so now we have one more question. So we will erase this. We will put our last question here. So who filled a bag first? So do you think Tom filled a bag first or Sue filled her bag first? If you think it's Sue, raise your hand. If you think it's Tom, Raise your hand. Okay, so many people got it right. Tom was the first squirrel with a full bag, right? And then our last question today is, what did Sue do at the end of the story? So you are all probably kind of tired now, so I will tell you. I'll answer, okay? At the end of the story, Sue helped other squirrels find nuts too, okay? So now we answered all of the questions, so let's read it together one more time, and then that will be our lesson for today, okay? I will listen to you. Who are the characters in Squirrel's Help? Sue and Tom were the main characters in the story. Sue's mama and Tom's dad were also characters in the story. Very good. How would you describe Tom? Tom is friendly. Tom is nice. Tom is a good friend. Very good. You're doing a great job reading. Next, what was Sue's problem in the story? How was it solved? Sue's problem was that she didn't have any nuts. It was solved when Tom showed Sue where to get a lot of nuts. Oh, you're doing so good. Just 2 more questions. Who filled a bag first? Tom was the first squirrel with a full bag. Good. And last, what did Sue do at the end of the story? At the end of the story, Sue helped other squirrels find nuts too. Wow! Yay! Yay! Give yourself a pat on the back. You did a good job, okay? Now it is time to say goodbye. All right? So we're done for today. And either you will read another level reader next time, or we are going to start learning a new chapter, okay? So whatever we do together, I will see you next time. And, oh, wait. I will see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.